Anyway, I just think like it's all trending in a really tough direction. And for a lot of us who pride ourselves as Canadians, as like, again, having like these things that we can be like tactile, that are what we mean to be Canadian, how the world views us. I'm proud that I've been proud that the rest of the world shows up to a tournament and they expect to lose to Canada.
Yeah.
And so the fact that Canada is just like, oh, we can beat those guys, that pains me. I don't want it to be that way. And I think the further that we do get from the success, it is tied into the problems that it has underneath and shows that like this system isn't working. And it's a kind of an indictment of, how we've treated something that is so important to who we are fundamentally as people, or for many of us, not everyone, but a lot of us.
And I look at that game last night, and Borny, you sent in our group chat the picture of like the Czechia kid doing like the thing to the crowd.
shushing the crowd in
It's
Canada.
Like,
Oof, that one bugged me.
Czechia is a proud hockey nation. They've beat us in many games or whatever, but it's like at this level, we gotta like that's a team you beat like a drum. That's a team that we're doing that
Make a statement.
And it's just at this point, seeing that happen, it's like, oh my God. You see every American kid shoot it like Matthews and have this drive like we used to have. They're chirping Easton in the box, way to go, Cowboy. They all got this like killer instinct. And it's like, that was us.
Well,
Where
like
is that?
registration in Canada is down
I know.
for
Well,
young men.
cost too damn much.
Like it's the numbers are in decline.
yeah. Cost
Rent
too
is too damn high.
Yeah, it costs
is.
too much.
But it's still growing in the States, and like they have a lot of the same
But
problems.
in fairness, they have a massive untapped
Yeah.
population compared to here.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is
true.
the scary
We've
part.
already what was that one Gladwell book where he talks about, I think it was Outliers, where it's about like the population and how much you actually are able to funnel into doing a certain thing. And Canada had done the most. It's like it seems like we have already maxed it out.
Yeah.
And the golden era of Canadian hockey
Well,
is
we're always
done.
going to have the top, like we're always going to have top guys.
Sure.
But it's just the layers under that is what it concerns me. So, anyways,
Yeah. So
Leafs?
that's the.
Was that too big?
No, I think-
I think because there's no sense. Everyone's going to pick apart. They should have taken whichever.
It's not that complex.
Listen, we
we
got-
didn't take Sedeke.
It's-
I always look at the text line. That's all I'm doing on this computer is looking at the text line. And we had 25, 30 texts about this and no one saying switch to the Leafs. So
Yeah.
I think people liked it. There you go.
Did you want to weigh in on Cowan before because that's Leafy
I've
and
got
Leaf
one
relevant.
Cowan take.
Let's have your Cowan.
It's
take.
the same thing as Brock Nelson. I watched him at the tournament. I get
Spuck?
you can have a bad 5 games. I didn't watch him and go, oh, you can't trade that guy.
Oh, I like that.
I mean, I've been
If I had Gavin McKenna, I'd go like,
Can't
can't
trade
trade that
that
guy. If I had Matthew Schaefer, I'd be like, I'll take a bullet for that guy.
the whole team fell
Would you
apart
give him your
the
collarbone?
second he went out.
Yeah,
So,
but I'm just saying, like you do, like I've watched enough of these that there's certain guys that you feel like they're untouchable. And I think for Cowan, for a lot of people, like they're not watching London night games every night. They see the point totals. And you're reminded, this isn't trying to, like, I feel for the kid. I think that he ate it in a way that you're not supposed to at that age. So I'm not trying to pile on. This is not that. I'm sure he is terrific. I don't think that his numbers are inflated anyway, but like you look at Max Domi's numbers with London, you look at Easton Cowan's numbers, and you're like, oh, okay, like,
Yeah.
the
Ceiling is maybe not, league leading.
Well,
scorer.
if you're a Leaf fan and you're thinking like, hey, you've got what, 3 years after this of Austin Matthews,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
4.
Yeah. No, I thought this was year 1 of the new contract.
You're on a 5-year deal.
Oh, it's 5? I thought.
No, it was a 4-year deal, but he was this is the first year of the 4-year contract.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
thought too.
Okay.
Either
Yeah.
way, so it's like you got a window of Matthews of 4 years,
Correct.
and now it might even be tighter than that, given whatever the hell it is with his
Retirement?
body. Yeah, let's not do that.
Okay, I'm joking.
Like this.
I was just
Like
joking.
Bossy.
I'll quit this show. Yeah, like I'll leave. I'll retire with him from ever doing this program again. I didn't see a guy that was like, oh, next year you can't wait for him to be on the team. I'm like, okay, so if it's further than that, you're into 2 years left of Matthews. I'm just saying if you could drastically improve the team, I'm not just trading him and giving him away. I'm like trying to diminish the value. My only point is that if you told me like, hey, Fraser Minton and Easton Cowan, which one of these two guys would you be more reluctant to move? It would have always been Easton Cowan. And now having seen Fraser Minton, at least knowing that like he's kind of close and that he can provide you with like salary cap relief
Interesting, yeah.
and that he plays the center position and that he can do that for you at a really discount rate. And trust me, like I hope somebody clips this and they throw it in my face in 2 years because Cowan's like,
Amazing.
winning the
Point.
Calder.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the point that a lot of people are making, I'm not the first one to say it, is that, Minton was the captain of the team last year that was equally as disappointing.
Yeah.
And he came in and he played well in the preseason. And he played well
And I
when he
hope
was
the same
up
for
here.
Cowan.
And
My point is
see-
just untouchable.
Yeah, same with Nyes, right? Nyes was underwhelming in the World Juniors. Had an underwhelming. He lost in overtime in the championship game with his team.
Yeah.
They were like
National
the favorite or whatever. Like you can have these junior hockey moments where everything is like I can't imagine being Cowan today. Like, I just, because like you said, the extremely online situation where all these kids are on their phone, they're on Twitter all the time. Like they showed that shot of Schaefer and the guy he was up in the press box with when he was like injured. And he literally just like didn't look up from his phone for like the full 35-second shot. So it's like they're on their phone constantly. And the other part of that is that this whole nation can't stand the Leafs. And they love nothing more than Leafs failure. And it comes to
Cowan's going to bear that.
With the actual Leafs, they cheer for anybody who plays against. Like the Leafs have the target at all times.
Of course.
So when you have a high profile event and the Leafs quote unquote top prospect in it underperforming, that's charming the waters for a lot of fans of other markets. And like he's just taking a beating. And like I see it on Twitter. I see it and like, listen, he's not my favorite, like London Knights. You all know my standing on it. But I feel for the kid, man. Today's got to be absolutely brutal for him. Like truly, truly brutal.
Yeah.
I guess sort of where I'm going with it is like, our conversation is, I think, going to go towards what do you do, no Matthews? And like, it's not exactly the deepest trade market, which is, again, very Leafy in the sense of, oh, okay, something might actually break your way where you could use the assets you have and try to
LTIR Matthews.
Yeah, like
Yanni Gourde.
Well, yeah, that's it, right? Is like
Although I do like
I would say that one of the strongest cases against putting him on LTIR is like he's already had a lot of time off and came back and got hurt basically immediately. Like he did Germany and he did a month of rest and came back and it was like
he's got the alibis. The alibis are there for LTIR.
Yeah, no, the alibis are certainly there for LTIR. I just mean more so from the practical standpoint of being able to weaponize that cap space. Like Tampa was a team that was already over the cap. Like they were a team that was like, oh, we don't know how this is going to work without you doing it, so go do it so we can have a good team. With the Mark Stone situation, they've been able to weaponize it at trade deadlines in a way where it's like, whoa, they brought in who? Like,
Yeah, they got Hurdle last year at the deadline.
yeah, just with the Leafs,
Crazy team.
like I do this content same as you guys every day. I've looked at every trade board. I've texted I've bugged different people and trying to get a read on like, well, who could be out there? And
Kadri.
but again, that's just pie in the sky stuff. Like it's not happening. Like
Yeah, like they wouldn't trade Tanev here. They're going to eat money on a Kadri contract to trade him to Toronto. Like there's just no shot.
no, I don't see it.
No
So
sense getting lost in that stuff.
but yeah, that's what I mean. It's just like when I look at the players that are out there that are available, like I think we would agree now, like there seems to be a growing need for a right shot defenseman, right? Like
Yeah.
they could use one.
Although
Name the guy.
they just locked up their right shot defenseman, and Philip Myers, for 2 years at $850,000 per year.
Fine
Tony, what do you
contract.
think of him?
I've actually been pleasantly surprised the last little bit. Going into the year, I talked to some people who kind of thought not physical at that size, but I do think that rangy, long D like that take a little time to sort of sort themselves out. Obviously, Chara is an exceptional example, but Zadorov might be a good one too, where young, he didn't look very good. Myers is 27, coming up in 28, 168 games in the NHL, I think, last time I looked. So, like, I could see him being good over the next 2 years at 850 and not hating that deal if he can just defend. And
This is clearly a Treliving sort of thought, is that locking up these fringe guys that kind of look good early to a
World.
couple-year contract, like he did with McMahon,
Benoit,
did it with
McMahon.
Benoit, and now he's done it with Myers, where
those have been good deals.
I think early on, I think I saw something from Nick Richard, maybe our boy, that Myers and Riley in their short time together have actually had pretty decent results and like a decent amount of goal share, over 50% of the goal share together. Like you're looking to, because the Shen thing's so obvious. I mean, we talk about, I got a Shen jersey up today just because Bunkus is in here and Luke's troops. But
Now you're the dudes.
Well, we are.
we're the dudes. We're
You
the
can
Luke's
be.
troops.
You can wear many hats. All right. Like,
I think like if you can find a guy internally here and pay him $850,000 that's capable with Morgan Riley and have him be like, because we talked about this last night on Leafs Talk, I'll say it here again. You have your elite shutdown pairing with Tanev and McCabe. And then you can kind of work down from there, right? And if you can get some like 16, 17 minutes out of Philip Myers a night, do the sort of Luke Shen thing that you did with him when he was here this year, it's like it's starting to come together a little bit.
Leafs all in on center hunt. Treliving's bold moves could shape Toronto's future. As a die-hard Toronto Maple Leaf supporter, it's hard not to get excited about the latest trade buzz surrounding the team. Brad Treliving, the Leafs general manager, appears poised to make some daring moves to strengthen the squad's depth down the middle. The whispers of significant trades are growing louder, and Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet has added fuel to the fire with his recent revelations. The situation has become even more pressing as the Leafs grapple with the ongoing upper body injury to team captain Auston Matthews. Matthews has already missed the last 4 games, and while the team is doing its best to stay afloat, the need for reinforcements at center is undeniable. Treliving, it seems, is ready to part with valuable assets to address this glaring need. The centers on Treliving's radar. Names like Jake Evans from the Montreal Canadiens, Brock Nelson from the New York Islanders, and the Philadelphia Flyers' Morgan Frost have been mentioned as potential targets. These players bring a mix of experience and skill, each offering something unique to the Leafs lineup. But, as Friedman highlighted during his appearance on the Fan 590's The Fan Hockey Show, the price tags for these players vary significantly. That's the number one thing he's, Treliving, been looking at all season, Friedman noted, emphasizing the GM's focus on finding the right fit at center. This isn't just about plugging a hole, it's about finding a player who can elevate the team to new heights. Priorities in focus. While some fans might argue that the Leafs need help on defense, Friedman suggested that Treliving's primary focus is elsewhere. They did a lot of their work in the off-season. I think now there's a question if they need to go find someone to play with Morgan Rielly, he explained. But, it's not their number one priority. I believe their number one thing all season has been, let's find another center. This clear focus on center depth speaks volumes about Treliving's strategy. The Leafs are willing to pay a hefty price, but there's a caveat: the player must come with term. Why term matters? The preference for term isn't just a strategic move, it's a sign that Treliving is thinking long-term. Rentals can be tempting, especially for a team looking to make a deep playoff run, but they often come with risks. One of the things I've heard is that if they're going to spend assets on a center, they would prefer it to be someone with term, Friedman revealed. This approach ensures that any trade made benefits the Leafs beyond the immediate future. Internal struggles and potential fits. Internally, the Leafs have tried to find solutions. Fraser